Hey everyone, this is Helena Hart, and I'm talking with Adrienne Everhart again today. And in this video, we're going to be sharing 3 texting secrets that make a man chase you and really inspire him to keep in contact with you and keep pursuing you for a real relationship. We're so lucky to have Adrienne talking with us today on this topic in particular because she's just an expert on what to say to a man. She wrote a whole ebook on the 500 ways to talk to a man. And of course, there's lots of texting secrets in her ebook as well. So I'm so excited. Adrienne, welcome. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom on this topic today.
Thank you, Helena, for having me. I cannot wait to share these texts with you about how to get a man to really chase you, really pursue you, and make him go crazy for you.
You know, I have to say, one of the top questions I get from women every day, literally, is what to say to a man, how to respond to text messages. My clients ask me these things all the time, what to text a guy. And so I know this is going to be really helpful for everyone watching, really, no matter where you're at in your love life. So let's just jump right in, Adrienne. What is that first texting secret that inspires a man to chase you?
Well, from the very beginning, I want you to have this energy or this vibe about you where the man is going to want to chase you from the start. So what this means is, men, they have that hunter mentality. They do like to pursue. This might feel like a game for you on the outside, but really it's a very important rite of passage that a man goes through in claiming a pick partner. So even though it might feel like a little bit of a game, it's very important to let him have that opportunity to pursue you. Plus, I want you to really have feelings and emotions in check because I want you to choose your partner carefully. This is going to help slow down that process a little bit. So the first one is I want you to make him chase you from the start. So this starts the very first time he asks you out. Now, there are a lot of men out there, they are very, very confident that a woman is going to say yes to them when they ask her out. I know, Helena, you used this great example with George Clooney and Amal, how Amal was like, no, I'm not interested. She thought he was just another actor making, moves on a beautiful woman. And so he actually really had to pursue her. And sure enough, Amal ended up, locking down one of America's top bachelors. Now, I don't think she did this on purpose. I think it was something really authentic. But if a man asks you out over text or even in person, and he says, hey, do you think you want to go out sometime? I want you to say, it feels tempting. I love the word tempting. It feels tempting, yet I can't say for sure. So you're not saying, well, I need to check my calendar. Well, I may have something planned that night. You're not giving him some line. You're not giving him a reason or excuse. You're just saying, feels tempting, yet I can't say for sure. You might really know what you're doing Friday night. You might know that you're already open, but I want you to take some time to make sure that this is the date you want to have on Friday. Even if you're gaga for this man, I want you to take about 20 minutes to just imagine that night. Imagine what would feel good for you. Would a short coffee date feel good to you? Would a walk in the park feel good to you? Would meeting up with mutual friends feel right? Or do you want to sit down and have a long dinner? I mean, what if he's not a great at conversation? Then you have to have this entire dinner with him, or if you're not comfortable, or do you want to sit in a movie in silence? What if he invites himself over to your house? What is it that you want to have happen for that date? So that's what I want you to do during that time, if you know that you're free. Because, for example, if the man wants to come over to your house and do a Netflix and chill sort of thing, then you're going to be obligated to have him there and provide snacks and food. And there's already, some underlying expectations about a Netflix and chill night. So if you prefer more of a simple date for starts, you're going to be aligned with that energy and be able to easily speak to the man what you would prefer. So when you say it feels tempting, yet I can't say for sure, that's what I want you to spend your time thinking about, is how you want that date to go.
I've actually never heard you say that before, so this is great. This is why we love doing these videos because, new things come out. That is totally brilliant. And then what would you have her do? Would you have her respond again in 20 minutes? Would you have her wait and see what he says? Like, what's the next step here with that one?
But at that point, you can ask for clarity if you want to. I'm a big fan of clarity. It's something most of us are not brave enough to ask for fear of maybe putting someone off or the man getting mad at us or not wanting us anymore. But clarity, again, actually shows this man that you're in demand. You're a goddess on a pedestal. So you can actually say to him, well, what did you have in mind? And be curious about it. My favorite and I also have this in my ebook, is what day or time were you thinking? One of the worst things that happens is I get an email from a woman Thursday around 4 o'clock. She says, a man had said, I'd like to take you out this weekend. Okay, well, that could be Friday, that could be Saturday, that could be Sunday. And she said, okay. And she hasn't heard from him and she wants to make her plans. So, one of the best things you can do is when a man asks you out, say, well, what day and time were you thinking? The guy might turn it on you and say, well, when are you free? Oh, I'm free Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. You don't want to be too eager. You want to let him know, well, I have time on Sunday afternoon. And Saturday morning after the gym, I may have about half an hour for a coffee. What do you think? You want to give them a couple of days and times that you're available, but not that you're open all the time. And if this is done over texting, I want you to definitely utilize emojis. Utilize some really friendly ones and sweet ones. Don't overdo it, but just send one so he knows that this clarity you're asking for, it might feel new to him and kind of abrupt to him. He might not know how to interpret it because there are so many women out there just giving it away, and you're going to be different. And so he might be a little bit taken aback from it. So use an emoji so he knows you're coming from a warm place.
Absolutely, and it's a great time to mention that this has to be authentic, right? These aren't games. If you guys are familiar with our other videos and programs, we're not about games or strategies or manipulation tactics. It absolutely has to be authentic, right? So I love, what do you have in mind? What day and time are you thinking? These are great things to respond to a man who's texting you these types of things. Okay, great. Adrienne, let's move on to the next secret.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, a lot of times we get messages and from women and they say, well, you're telling me what to say. How could this not be, strategic or planned? Well, we're giving you the best example to say you can always kind of adjust it to make it your words, but you're not doing this to play a game with the man. Stick around to the end. We have a little bonus where I go a little deeper in why you do want to practice this on men, but stick around for that. We're going to get to that. I don't want to get too far ahead. So moving on to the next one, a lot of men will only want to text you. They're only going to want to send you text. And again, this is part of that hunting game. I do not want you to be small prey, however. So if you've gone a few rounds of texting with this man, and by a few rounds, I mean, he said, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm feeling really excited today. And then he responds, and then so that's just like a few rounds. You're going to really entice the chase by letting the man know, I've had fun texting, but a phone call would feel lovely. What do you think? So,
yeah. Yeah, I love that. One of the top questions, sorry, Leo's just joining us here. He was walking around all over the place, messing with the lights as usual. So, one of the top questions I get from women is, he just wants to text all the time. And, he's not moving it into real life. If they met online, or he's not asking for a phone call, or he just wants a text buddy. So this is perfect for situations like that, right? Can you repeat that just so it's really clear that a phone call would feel lovely? What exactly could she text a guy?
Yeah, I mean, you taught me a great one, which is, I'm feeling a little bored with text. A phone call would feel lovely. What do you think? I really like to let the guy know that, this has felt really fun texting, but what is it you feel? This has felt really fun texting, but my thumbs are tired, but my eyes are tired. I'd really feel really fun to chat for a little while. What do you think? You want to find what you feel and end it with a what do you think? Now, if for any reason this man gives you a bunch of excuses as to why he cannot have a phone call with you, do not keep texting him. I want you to cut it off then and say, well, okay, bye-bye, and cut it off, be warm. And then I want you to wait about 24 hours because he's probably going to text you back and try to guilt you. Now, again, this is not that all men are bad. This is part of their cellular DNA. This is part of that chase. And it's also part of the masculine mindset is to guilt the feminine energy into getting her to do what you want. So it's really like an early power struggle in a lot of ways. But remember, part of you being in your powerful feminine energy is that you only play that game if you want to. And you can actually turn a guy that might be doing something kind of mischievous like this into a good guy by letting him know, oh, I'm way up here. So, for example, if a man sends you some texts or some messages that say something like, I'm really not into phone calls, or I can't talk right now, or he gives you some other of excuse, drop texting him. Do not continue to text him, because if he's hunting small game and he's trying to capture easy hearts, the best way for you to let him know that you are valuable and you're a woman worth claiming is not playing small game, okay? So you're a woman he has to work for, and men love a job. They really love a job, and they love that pursuit. So when he does call you, ladies, make sure you are ready and practiced with speaking from your body, speaking from your feelings, so he can get all wrapped up in you.
So important. And we're actually covering so much here. I know we're a little short on time today. Do you want to jump into the third secret? This is all really information.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 3 is read his text. I know that sounds so simple, but really read his text. So often we're up here in our mind, and I will get texts from my client and they'll say, well, he sent me that he needs to do this, but he's going here. And then Saturday he has to make sure his daughter gets to the play on time. When should I tell him I want to see him? When should I tell him that I need to be with him? And I'm like, wait a minute. You're missing all these opportunities to connect with him. So what I'm saying is I really want you to read his text. Read them sentence by sentence and make sure you're answering the content and able to connect with his heart. I want you to be able to connect with him, not just come at his text with, how am I going to get my needs met? I mean, this is a big part of feminine energy, which is unzipping your heart, being available to the man, and connecting with him. So I tell everyone that I really want you to be like sunshine. When you're there in the sky, it feels wonderful, it feels good, but soon clouds come and cover it up and the man will miss you. And then of course, sometimes it is at night and the sun is not in the sky. And that's how I want you to be. So if you're always there, your energy's always coming at him and it's always just about you, the man's just really gonna feel like he's trapped in the desert. He's going to feel like all that focus is coming in on him. So when you slow down this process, you read his text, this really helps him connect with you. Because so often a man sends these really phatic, customary texts. He sends good morning or hi or, what's up. And I want you to just translate these into how are you feeling and use them as a way to connect to his heart. He just can't really articulate the way that we can.
I think that's really brilliant. What's coming to me is something that we see all the time is that, when you're up in your head thinking, what's the next step? I mean, I can certainly get into this. We all can, right? Especially kind of like the smarter, more driven and ambitious you are in other areas of your life. It can be easy to turn that focus and energy onto a man in the early stages of dating, especially even in long-term relationships, for sure, this energy of what's the next step? How do I get this man to answer this thing that I want or do what I want, right? So when you're doing that, a lot of times you're missing the opportunity to connect. You're missing opportunities to, just like Adrian said, express how you feel, be that warm ray of sunshine that he just feels drawn to, right? Not someone he needs to pull away from because you're pushing your energy out towards him or trying to push your agenda on him, right?
Oh, I love that. So I want to go ahead and share this last bonus with you all. And the bonus is you got to practice this on a lot of men, not just the guy you really want to be with. You got to practice it on a lot of men, because when you practice on a lot of men, you get so comfortable with speaking these feelings and trying these techniques and practicing it. so that when the man you do like comes around, instead of being, again, like the sun in the desert beating down on him and just he feels all of it coming at him, he will feel this very relaxed vibe from you. Now, a lot of people, out of college, they go on a couple of different job interviews that they know they would get. They go to the limited and they like go to Starbucks to try to get a job, and they get hired, but they do it so they can practice their interview skills. So this is a lot the same way. You're going to be practicing with other men. You never know where something might lead with a guy that otherwise doesn't seem like he's really, really your type. You just really don't know. But practicing, guys love the attention. They love the practice too. And then when your guy does come around, the guy that you really want, your Mr. Right, you will be well practiced. There will be nothing new about this. And my book, of course, has more than 500 examples and techniques and ways that you can get in touch with this and talk to a man.
I love that. Yeah. With all of our tools, it's easy to do them on men we don't care that much about, right? But it's going to be harder with that one man that you're really interested in, the one guy you really like. So you want to build this muscle. You want to really like build your muscle, feminine energy, even though that sounds a little counter-logical, right? But it really is. It's like a muscle that you have to build just like any other muscle. Switching into that feminine energy, expressing yourself from that really like warm, authentic place. And you're basically getting yourself ready for when the right guy does show up. Now you're going to be practiced at this. Now you're going to be an expert at communicating from your feminine energy and just pulling him towards you, basically pulling the whole world towards you, especially that man who's right in front of you. So Adrian, thank you so much. I'll post a link to your ebook, 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. I know you mentioned before we started recording that there's so many text messages in that ebook, right? It almost reads like a cell phone, right?
It does. In fact, I use blue and pink bubbles, text bubbles, to have conversations. And, a lot of you might think, well, this is just for dating, but it's not. Even any dating conversation is also going on in a relationship conversation. And so I really break it down for you and teach you how to get into your feminine energy, how to make this authentic. But yet it's full of text, it's full of like social media updates and just really common things after working with so many women, and you have too, Helena. We hear it time and time again. We really do. So I've taken the hottest of hot topics from money, sex, porn, commitment, dating, getting exclusive, moving to marriage, all the little problems in between. It's in this book. It's a great guidebook. And you can also get the videos to accompany it. I had a 2-day class called How to Talk to a Man 101. So you can get the book and you can get the video, or you can just get the book, or you can just get the videos. Your choice. It's all there to help you really get into your feminine energy and become this alluring, beautiful goddess on a pedestal that a man wants to claim, not just text.
I love that. So I will post a link to that. Everyone go check out Adrian's ebook, 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. It's so affordable. She just wants to make it available to everyone. I'll also post links to the programs that we did together, Heartbroken to Happily Ever After, and Find and Keep the One Without Coming Undone. You can get both of those 2 programs together right now at a special bundle price. So I'll post links to those as well. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way till the end. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a like and a comment. We love hearing from you. And Adrian, this was just so brilliant. Everything you shared, I love hearing all your words of wisdom when it comes to how to talk to a man and how to text. So we should definitely do this again soon. And thank you so much again.